Hi everyone, in this video we'll be going through a part of probability that is called possibility diagrams. One hallmark of possibility diagrams that students can latch on to is that there's generally no working. No working in the sense that you'll be multiplying and dividing. Instead, you'll be counting. Yes. So the working becomes very obvious. Instead of multiplying and so on and so forth and try to figure out possible combinations, you're going to focus on counting. Right, so over here we have an example of a bag containing cards, and two cards are drawn with replacement. Right, so what's going to happen here is that you're going to start to fill up a square grid. Of course, you don't have a square grid. Usually they provide one for you, or they fill halfway, or you have to draw one from scratch. Very rare for exam questions to do so nowadays. So what you can do is start off by writing your possible numbers: 1, 3, 4, 6, 9. So the 5 cards each, and same thing here: 1, 3, 4, 6, and 9. And so what's going to happen is that in this particular grid, we're going to write in all the possible combinations that we can have with our possibility diagram. Why is that so? Because we can regard the one on the left hand side to be your first draw, and the one on your horizontal or your row wise to be your second draw. Right, and you can fill it up. It looks like something like this: 1, 1, and over here we can have things like 6, 9. What does 6, 9 mean? It just means that the first card that you draw from the back is a card labeled number 6, and the second card that you draw from the back is one that's labeled 9. Right, so if you're copying down the example, you can pause the video and you can start copying down. I'll do so the same as well, like this. Okay, so let's bring this down to our first question. It means the grid doesn't follow. It's okay. So here, and I'm just trying to get the grid as well. It should go over it nicely, like so, just to create the lines for it to go slightly more distinct. Okay, let's get started with a set of questions here. Keep in mind that the slogan for possibility diagrams is that there's no working. You're going to count the numbers from the possibility diagram. So let's start off our first question, A, the probability where one number is even. Right, so we can go to a possibility diagram and sort of take a little marker, and let's try red now, and we're going to put a red circle to the boxes where one number is even. So let's look at it over here. So this is our 4. So one of them is even, 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 and one of them is even here, so on and so forth. I shouldn't do a double count. Here, here, and where else do you have it? 6 as well. Here, one here, here, one here. I didn't make a mistake. I'll just correct myself here. I would like to put all this red circles in the same on. I can do that now. Well, let's move this away. Can't do that. Never mind. Let's leave it there first. And I think that should be all. Right. And so what we want to do now is to count all the red circles that you have. If you've done so, you'll be oh, there's a few more actually. So over here, there's one more, and one more here. And if you count all the red circles, you have 4, 6, 14, and 16. So there are 16 altogether. 16 red circles over the total sample space, which is 5 times 5, and it's 25. Why 25? Because there's 5 options and 5 options, so it's 25 altogether. So it's 16 out of 25. Let's go for the next question. It says where there's a sum that's more than 5. So same thing here. We're going to use a different color and use a different symbol, and we're going to start to mark the boxes where the sum is more than 5. Right, 1 plus 1 of course is not, but you realize that 3 plus 3, yes it is. So we use a small blue asterisk. 3 plus 4 it is, 3 plus 6 is, 3 plus 9 is, 1 plus 9, 1 plus 6, 1 plus more than 5, no it's not more than 5. So let me just fill up the box for you, like so. and we can write out our working, so to speak. So P sum more than 5. And if you count the blue asterisk, which I marked to show when the sum is more than 5, you realize that it's actually 20 out of 25. And where you have your simplification of 4 is to 5. So keep in mind this is a blue asterisk. Have, and you can mark this with our red circle and our blue asterisk over. Right, last question. A sum that is odd. Slightly more working should be done for this. So set our question again. Question C. P sum is odd. Since you have finished up the question, we can use a big circle. Let's try a yellow circle, and let's find some of them. So 1 plus 1 definitely is not, so we can't circle it. So 1 plus 3 is also not, 3 plus 1 is not, and realize the pattern will happen where you have to add one odd number with one even number. That's how you get a sum that is odd. So things like 1 plus 6 is 7, so it's odd as well. 3 plus 4, and realize it goes down the line, except for 4 plus 4 because it gives you an even, and 9 plus 4. Right, so let me just circle all the ones that have an odd sum. So over here, you realize that you have 1, 2, 3, 12. There are 12 sums that are odd with a big yellow circle out of 25, and there's no need for simplification here. Right? So you just will be counting, and that's what you get. Right? That's it for now. For how to use a possibility diagram, remember there's no working, just counting, and remember how you set up a possibility diagram. You list out all the possible combinations. That's it. Thank you.